malakas ka, so you have the power to fight. And kapag malaking tao ka, size, which it means kapag malaking malaking tao ka, or you have a good physical fit, so you have the power to fight with your physical strength using weapon. Kapag may mga armas ka, so you have also the power. So next is the gender. So in gender based social, male are usually in more powerful position than female. So alam naman natin na dati pa sabi nila that male are malakas kaysa mga babae, which is um, some part yes, and some part is maybe, because some work jobs that uh, para sa mga males, and also may job din for female. And dito, so as we can say na powerful yung male kaysa sa female, because male can think critically in such a situation, ganun. Next is the age. Age is related. Often, the young and elder people have the least power. So, sa age, kapag bata ka or matanda, so you have a least power rather than sa mga adult adult adults. Yes. So because nga kapag bata ka, so the thing is may isip nila ay laro lang yung nasa utak ng mga bata, and kapag matanda na, so masabi nila na mahina na, hindi na kayang gumalaw. Unlike sa mga adults, they can work harderly, and nakakaisip sila ng mga bagay-bagay na we can say na using of power. So next is use of force and violence. So in define force, so force might be physical, emotional, social, or economic in nature. So force in physical, which is paggamit ng lakas ng ating katawan. Emotionally, force, something like verbally speak, and social sa ating kapaligiran. So force also include intimidation, threats, persecutions, or other form of psychological or social pressure. So here sasabi dito na intimidations, threats, pagbabanta, it may under enforce. So next is the violence. Violence consists of the use of physical force of other means of coercion, such as threats, inducement, or promise of a benefit to obtain something from a weaker or more vulnerable person. So violence is something like use of physical force and means of threatening someone using of violence. So example is like, so example ng violence, something like inaabos natin yung mga nasa paligid natin. Something like that. Threatening. Also, bullying. Something. Discriminations. Violence. So next is the informed consent. Informed consent is means saying yes, agrees to something. So in gender-based violence, saying yes, so without information, consents, even if she or he say yes, this is not true consent because it was said under juries. The perpetrators use some kind of force to get one to say yes. So in gender-based violence, informed consent is not uh, physically so in informed consent, hindi lahat ng bagay masabi natin na palagi na yes, you agree with something like sa mga bagay because it's not some part, it's not good na you may say yes. And also um, if it's not um, we can say na kung hindi siya maganda, we can disagree naman, di ba? So last is the cycle of violence. So refers to a repeat act of violence in a relationship. So it starts with minor incident and moves on a more serious level of violence. So cycle of violence, um, paulit-ulit na um, violence na nangyari. So, alam naman natin na uh, bata pa tayo, we experience violence, but in a minor level. Pero, if when we grow up, so mas tumataas yung violence na nare-receive natin entirely through social, physical, and emotionally. So, example na lang dito example na lang natin, cycle of violence ay uh, when we were young, na-experience natin yung bullying until we get older. Binubully din tayo because of the physical appearance, the way you express yourself. That's an example of a cycle of violence. So now, to sum up our lesson, so power and abuse of the same are integral components of gender-based violence. So these components, the power and abuse, also had a effect to consent for be given by the survivors. So the content may be informed or vita, vit, uh, vit, vitate, so it is perpetrate. And violence plays along a cycle of being overpowered and giving of consent to the detriments of women and their children.